After months of speculation, outrage, and heartbreak, justice has finally caught up with the man believed to be behind the brutal killing of South African political figure Nathi Mthethwa. The Paris Metropolitan Police announced late Thursday evening that they had successfully apprehended the main suspect in Mthethwa's murder, an arrest that has sent waves of relief and vindication across both France and South Africa. According to official reports, the suspect, a 42-year-old former associate of Mthethwa, was captured during a coordinated dawn raid in the 13th arrondissement of Paris. Authorities revealed that the arrest came after weeks of intensive surveillance, wiretaps, and cross-border intelligence sharing. Sources close to the investigation claim that the man had been living under a false identity, evading police since the night Mthethwa was found dead in his Paris apartment earlier this year. The breakthrough came after a forensic review of CCTV footage from the vicinity of Mthethwa's residence, which allegedly placed the suspect at the scene just hours before the tragedy occurred. Investigators also recovered digital evidence linking him to a series of encrypted communications that hinted at a planned confrontation. Speaking at a press briefing, Chief Inspector Laurent Dubois described the arrest as a defining moment for justice and praised the joint efforts of French and South African authorities. This case was more than just a murder, it was an attack on integrity, diplomacy, and trust, Dubois said. We worked tirelessly, following every lead until the truth could no longer hide. The South African Embassy in Paris released an official statement shortly after the announcement, expressing gratitude for the swift action of French law enforcement. The capture of the perpetrator marks a critical step toward accountability. We hope this brings comfort to the Mthethwa family and closure to the South African people who have been demanding justice, the statement read. Back home, reactions poured in across social media and news outlets. Citizens and political commentators expressed both relief and anger: relief that the suspect was finally in custody, and anger that the case had taken so long to resolve. Some called for a broader investigation into possible political motives behind Mthethwa's death, citing his recent work on a controversial reform proposal that had reportedly angered several high-profile figures. Close family sources told reporters that the arrest brought tears of mixed emotions. Mthethwa's widow, who had publicly vowed not to rest until justice was served, said in a brief statement, "We finally see the light at the end of this painful road. My husband's legacy will not be silenced." However, insiders warn that the story is far from over. The suspect is expected to face a formal extradition hearing next week, with South African prosecutors preparing to request that he stand trial in Pretoria. Legal analysts say the decision could become politically sensitive, as it may expose deeper international ties related to the case. The arrest also reignited debates about corruption, espionage, and betrayal within government circles, with many speculating that Mthethwa's death may have been the result of a larger conspiracy, one that authorities have yet to fully uncover. Some reports even suggest that several key witnesses in the case are currently under protection, fearing retaliation from those who benefited from Mthethwa's demise. For now, Paris stands as the stage where justice began to take its course. The streets where Mthethwa once walked freely are now a symbol of resilience, of a fight that stretched beyond borders and tested the resolve of two nations. As investigations continue and the legal process unfolds, one thing remains clear: the truth can be delayed, but it cannot be denied. The world now watches as Nathi Mthethwa's killer faces the consequences of his actions, and as a grieving nation finally begins to heal with justice, at long last, served.